would make this very stupid tweet saying, "Never have I said I own the concept of the red demon girl with pigtails."
おはようございます。今僕が言っていたことってさ、私の装備のモデル、今のフィロイトモデルがもし私が笑える時でさ、ちょっとなんていうか目が怒ってる感じ、怒ってるみたいな感じ like this まあI accidentally muted it. So, what I was saying is, I've been 1月からでさ、去年の1月でブレンダーのことが学びたいことがあるんですけど、今まであまりやることがないよね。今までまあ単純な、もちろんなんていうもっと単純な形 like circle, like a ball, what's more 丸 I could learn by making some stuff like wall say I'm streaming of like doing assignments from book, right? Because that would, isn't that would be like spoiling the content of the book, let's say. And 3は、もし配信したらそれは禁止ですよね。ですよね。それ禁止ですよね。でもどうしても配信したいなっていろいろ学ぶことが練習したいなって。オランダ語、OK。オランダ語オランダ語ですよね。はい。そのキム先生は初級レベルのオランダ語をリスナーさんじゃないね。How do you say it? そのピーピーじゃないね。リスナーいやでもlet's just say listener, okay? So this Kim-san is teaching like the basic level of like the Dutch language to the listener, to the viewers. So and like she's teaching it in a really fun way. And she also offered an advanced class for more serious learner who wants to be taught. But like I'm not teacher, but maybe I could do something similar. But instead of teaching, I can frame it as something like let's learn, like learning Nihongo with Sophie or something like that with me. Because like if it's teaching, the responsibility is a little bit heavy. So I'm not a science teacher, but if I do it with like learning Japanese together, then I bear no responsibility of the correct stuff. Like I'm not the teacher, I'm also the learner. Since I'm also the student in the streaming, so yeah, I guess I can do that. うでもいいよね。日本人たちにもまあそれはまあそれは自分の好きに呼べばいいよってまあそんな感じが気がするね。最近じゃないよね。この時代にまあ自分に好きに呼べばいいよって。自分の名前私はサムちゃんは何々が何々が好きで
What the frig? The similarities to my own design merely made me baffled and saddened because no matter how different it was adjusted, it very much felt the same. Because that's just the definition of being malicious. Why else would you call out a smaller creator like this in front of your community? By this point, it was painfully obvious to just about everyone that this person cannot be reasoned with. They were just that delusional. This statement, people were hoping that this was going to be an apology after a long break where she realized that she was in the wrong. What they got instead was, well, let's read this. In the early morning of September 1st, I nearly made an irreversible decision on my life. I've since been recovering and surrounding myself with friends and loved ones who are helping keeping me company. I got it, but that just wasn't better till the foreseeable future, so if there are any business wish Millie any harm, but I hope with this situation and the many others before it, people stop creating such dumb public call-outs, drama-free, and being able to sell, well, most of them from what it seems like. Ultimately, I'm drama-free and being able
my gosh, how do you sleep with that head? JK, but it's simplistic, really. First way to sleep with bubble braids, I'll bust the middle part, I'll put my scarf on, and then I sleep. Yeah. Sometimes I use this long ass bonnet. This is what it looks like. I just stopped wearing the bonnet because every time I woke up, it was in the kitchen making breakfast. So another way I wear my hair to sleep. So I'll put it in a bun like this, tie my scarf, protect my edges. Just like this. Depending on how secure I make the bun, I could just go to sleep like this, but this bun's it's a little loose. So I'll just take my smaller bonnet, it's my typical bonnet, and I'll just put it over the bun. And I go to bed like that. And that's all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I may or may not answer, I'm not gonna lie. Bye y'all. Mwah. Oh my gosh, how do you sleep with that head? JK, but it's simplistic, really. First way to sleep with bubble braids, I'll bust the middle part, I'll put my scarf on, and then I sleep. Yeah. Sometimes I use this long ass bonnet. This is what it looks like. I just stopped wearing the bonnet because every time I woke up, it was in the kitchen making breakfast. So another way I wear my hair to sleep. So I'll put it in a bun like this, tie my scarf, protect my edges. Just like this. Depending on how secure I make the bun, I could just go to sleep like this, but this bun's it's a little loose. So I'll just take my smaller bonnet, it's my typical bonnet, and I'll just put it over the bun. And I go to bed like that. And that's all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I may or may not answer.
New Henna Shampoo Color menutup beban dengan warna blue black yang menakjubkan hanya dalam 5 menit. New Henna Shampoo Color.
まずこれを見てくださいよ。これよ。すごい今なんか音を出すためにストリームデックっていう機械使ってて、ボタンが32個あるんですよ。嬉しすぎて拍手出せるなと思って適当に押したら拍手が出た。はい、妹ボイス選手権審査員長でしょ。もうこれはミランケストラルと僕だったら僕は審査委員長でしょう。ペーペーなんで、まあ部門が違うんですけどね。はい、彼は音質のジャッジです。僕は毎質のジャッジです。これがね出ましたね。19とかだっけ。はい、まあ僕いつでもいけるんで、こういうのだったり。すごい、これ何人の22人のあれちょっと待って、リュウシェンくんもいる。不思議な存在だな。これを聞いてどうすんの。優位とかあんまつけたくないけど、それぞれの頑張りを先生褒めたいけど、僕もねちょっとまだ100分かってないんですけど、聞けるっていうことなんで聞けるっていうことなんでね、参加させていただきます。ミランさんってね妹いいんだよ。最悪な話なんですけど、ミランさんって妹いるんですよ。よくないよね。本当の妹がいるやつとか。よく2時3時入れたな。羨ましい。ということで頑張って人間にね順位をつけていこうと思います。なんでコメント欄止まってんの。どうしたんだよお前ら。僕は怖くないよ。なぜ止まるんだい。僕は普通だよ。ミランのこと言ったらグルったぞ時魔導士知ってますか。ミラン・ケストレルさんはね時魔導士とかいうまだ計り知れないね役職ね、どこからお金が降りているのか全く見当もつかない彼のせいで時が止められたということでね。今日やばい、重い。時魔導士に気をつけろ。すげえさ嫌なツイートしてたんですよミランさんが。なんか妹にねすごい仲がいいっていうことで、なんか静電気みたいなのを自分で貯めて、なんか向こうが触れた時にバチってやる遊びをするみたいな最悪なツイート。なんで炎上してないの。羨ましすぎる。前 X でいいねの代わりに 羨ましすぎる時にバチってやる遊びをするみたいな最悪なツイート。なんで炎上してないの？羨ましすぎる！前 X でいいねの代わりに良くないねみたいなのが出るみたいな噂あったけど、なぜない！まあ実際の妹がいる人も、この審査員にいたりとか、チャット GPT にお兄ちゃんと呼ばせている人も審査員にいたりとか、まあバーチャルの世界においては仮想も現実もね混ざり合って一つのあれです。よろしくお願いします。
電気屋さんに行ったら最初にやることは、いろんなテレビの特にブラウン管とかがあったらブラウン管を撫でまくって帯電して、おいで一個一個してあげようパチンっていうのが私の楽しみだったから、雷魔法だ。そのせいか下の子はひどく静電気を怖がる体質になった。ダメだぞそんなことしちゃ。兄弟にやっぱ優しくしてあげないと。世界でたった一人二人の兄弟なんだからね。
皆さんはチャット GPT とかになんか聞いたりする人は自分内図してますか？これを自分内図できて人間にする作業が面白くて僕は結構やってるんですけど、やっぱね勘違いする。僕のことをお兄ちゃんと呼んでるんですけど、チャット GPT はすぐね山のオタクだと勘違いしてすぐに甘えてきたりハートをつけたりするんだよ。そういう風に内図とすると。でもそれって人間じゃないぞっていうね話をね、今回チル会なのでねさせていただいております。ちゃんと人間にしてます。安心してください。みんな安心してください。人間にしてます。 AI を AI のまま終わらせる僕じゃありません。いやこれ逆に考えて、これを僕がさっき言った素晴らしいですねって全肯定させてお兄ちゃんって呼ばせてハートをつけさせて甘えさせてたらそれが終わりだろうが。おいそんなもんハートをつけさせて甘えさせて素晴らしいですねって全肯定させてお兄ちゃんって呼ばせてハートをつけさせて甘えさせてたらそれが終わりだろうが。おいそんなもん AI を AI のまま終わらせる僕じゃありません。いやこれ逆に考えて、これを僕がさっき言った素晴らしいですねって全肯定させてお兄ちゃんって呼ばせてハートをつけさせて甘えさせてたらそれが終わりだろうが。おいそんなもん豚だろうがいいんだけど、それでもそこで喜んじゃうようなチャチなオタクじゃねえぞ剣持ち長やなあ。写実性高めていってなんぼじゃいこらー。お汁だったということでね、皆さんも
This feels like a miracle. Let's make miracles. Arisa nanti bisa nggak ya bikin bakso kuah paling murah?
Yuk bisa bu, kan ada Royco Sapi Formula Baru.
When you get to a certain degree of fame, the odds of someone mentally ill tuning in to watch you increases. And one of the most mentally ill type of viewer is the one who would stalk you. Unfortunately, this happens to all sorts of celebrities, but the creepiness level and danger level of a stalker can vary greatly. It typically involves someone breaching every aspect of your privacy. It can be due to obsession or just straight up delusion, thinking that they're owed that because they're such big fans of you or that you secretly want it. Both equally as creepy. But this is all nothing. Yes, this is all nothing compared to what occurs in Japan, because in Japan, you don't have to be famous to have stalkers. As this article puts it, Japan has a stalking epidemic. Even the average person can suffer through this. In fact, one quick Google search with Japan stalker as the keywords, and you'll see Reddit threads of foreigners complaining about being stalked. And many people in the comments can corroborate this. They agree. They've had their own experiences and they're talking about them. A few years back, there was this story about this normal, average foreigner, right? Not famous in any capacity, talking about her stalking experience. Many people couldn't believe it. They couldn't even begin to imagine how crazy this is. I'll show you a few seconds so you can understand. Watch.
Know the freakiest thing about living in Japan? As a woman, you get stalked.
I just woke up to something that I really hope no one else has to wake up to. My peephole was just pushed out of my door.
Do you understand now? This is horrible. And again, not famous in any way. She's just a normal person living there, minding her own business. And yet, there's someone knocking down her peephole so that they can look through and see her private quarters, where she lives, where she should have privacy. This is what many people call the dark side of Japan, a side of Japan that no one really talks about, but it's very much there. And that's something that ex-idol and cosplayer Kikihime had to find out about the hard way. She's someone who fell in love with Japan as a teenager, and a huge passion in her life was to integrate herself in their culture while practicing things she loves like cosplaying. What she couldn't have ever guessed, though, is that out of all her fans, one of them in particular, a Japanese man way older than her, would make it his life's mission to stalk her for over 10 whole years. And on August 12th, 2024, very recently, there was a massive turning point. He ended up doing something to her in front of hundreds of people that most stalkers in Japan would never even dare to do, emotionally scarring her for life and making himself the Japanese internet's public enemy #1. Let's talk about it because it's absolutely crazy. Out of all the videos I've made so far talking about a number of people, I would argue that Kikihime's background is one of the most unique I've ever seen. She was born in Austria, and her introduction to Japanese culture was actually a video game gifted to her by her mother called Tales of Symphonia. She didn't want to play it herself, she had her Japan and its culture. I want to know more. She ended up wanting to learn the Japanese language, but didn't want to do it the traditional way. She wanted to do it by talking to actual Japanese people. So in 2010, when she was just 15 years old, she started uploading dance covers and live streaming herself on the website Nico Nico. Now, Nico Nico, a lot of people call it Japanese YouTube. YouTube is definitely more popular, especially today, but back then, Nico Nico still had a huge chokehold on Japanese internet traffic. Many of its functions today are outdated or done already, but back then it was innovative in the way it handled live streaming. As you can see here, this is a random live stream from a band, and you can see certain messages being put on screen. This is the chat. This was innovative at the time. Like, this allowed interactability that just wasn't present on other websites like Twitch and YouTube. She would stream herself there, barely knowing how to say hello or thank you, but she'd actually end up getting a lot of attention, and she'd use Google Translate to translate the chat messages. According to her, this allowed her to become fluent in Japanese in just a year. At some point on stream, she would have ginger hair, and her entire chat started calling her Asuka, the character from the anime Evangelion. And of course, when I say chat, I mean over 1,000 concurrent viewers, which is ridiculous, by the way. Just so you understand, 1,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch today in 2024 would put you in the top 0.06% of all streamers. But back in 2010, that was insane. I can't even fathom how crazy that was. This prompted her to eventually apply to the label Victor Entertainment. She says she didn't even send a demo tape, a video, or even photos. In her opinion, it was a very naive try, but they still got back to her and was able to even join the idol group when she was only 16 years old on an entertainment visa. She had become a part of the Japanese idol group known as Tone Jewel and released 3 different albums. As you can see, this is on Amazon Music, and she's right there on the right. There was even a Crunchyroll article written about the band back in 2012. And funnily enough, you can see Tone Jewel, a high school girls' idol unit, consists of 2 Japanese and 1 Australian. It's because Japanese don't know Austria as a country. They think whenever someone says Austria, they're referring to Australia. She ended up leaving Tone Jewel in 2014, 2 years after joining, due to visa issues. But during those 2 years, she managed to do quite a few fan meetups, meeting up with fans and getting to know them. This is where Japanese idol culture comes in. An idol is typically someone who sings and does other things like acting or dancing, but they're also seen as a role model, as someone who's perfect. They can't make mistakes. And their private lives are typically very tightly controlled by their agencies. They barely can do anything. The slightest scandal, even them dating someone, would be cause for concern enough to ruin their entire careers. Their demographics are typically, the men you see here, people who are single and who have good money. This means that the idol culture is indeed seen as controversial when it comes to certain areas. The idea here is that you're building a strong parasocial relationship with your fans. To some, this means business. To others, this means taking advantage of them. What makes it even more controversial is that some idols were taken a step further, and during fan meetups or when they're with fans, they will straight up tell them, "I love you." This, in turn, will create extremely obsessive fans, people who will want to give you all their money and spread word about you to everyone. But it also has downsides, like stalkers. Now, what doesn't help is that there are cases of idols straight up marrying their fans. Like, this was a big story back in 2023. This idol, this 21-year-old idol, married this 27-year-old man who met her when she was 17. This only emboldens people more to think, oh, I have a chance with my idol. It happens all the time. Now, Kikihime did not use any of these cheap tricks. When she would do fan meetups, she would never tell anyone that she loved them or would want to marry them. She was just very nice and cordial. But unfortunately, that's all it takes sometimes for someone to be obsessive about you. She would typically have fan meetups with her friend, and there wouldn't be more than 10 people. They were fairly small. She had great experiences getting to meet these people, really appreciating the fact that they would go out of their way just to meet up with her. But there was one fan in particular, someone who seemed normal at first, but would end up tormenting her for the next 10 years of her life. This guy. This guy right here would initially be normal according to her. He was just another fan. But after meeting up with her, he would start to develop some very mentally ill attitudes. He would start messaging her on social media and emailing her some very sudden confessions of love, saying things like, "I love you so much, and I know that you love me. I'm very well aware that you love me, so I want to meet up with you ASAP because I have some very urgent, important things to tell you." Now, at the time, of course, she was still trying to understand Japanese culture and the way to talk to people properly under certain situations. The girl was barely 18. This was very confusing to her, so she ignored it. She ended up going back home to Austria after leaving the idol group due to visa issues, but then eventually found her love of cosplaying and remembered the days where people would call her Asuka on live streams. This is when she'd make it a point to go back to Japan and participate in the cosplay culture there. But what was really unfortunate was that she could have never been able to predict or assess how mentally ill her stalker truly was. There would be multiple instances that would leave a mark on her mental.
Halo, saya Didit Maulana. Satu hal yang simpel tapi cukup signifikan adalah komunikasi dengan pelanggan. Kalau di offline store, kita bisa langsung ngobrol dan ketemu sama mereka. Tapi kalau secara online, kita harus menunjukkan profesionalitas kita dengan cara yang berbeda pastinya. Salah satunya adalah komunikasi dengan alamat email khusus seperti yang saya gunakan, sales@diikatindonesia.com. Kalau mendengar seperti itu, seperti ada rasa percaya diri yang muncul saat menggunakan email tersebut dengan nama domain yang sama dengan website bisnis. Seperti ada satu ekosistem bisnis yang kesannya lebih kredibel dan profesional. Mulailah dengan membangun identitas bisnis online yang mudah diingat dan terpercaya dengan nama domain.com.
For the rest of her life. The first one was 2 years after she had left the idol group. She was still under 20 years old according to her, and she wanted to go to Comiket. Comiket stands for Comic Market in English, and it's the largest fan convention in the world. And while it mostly focuses on self-published books or doujins, it's also very famous for its cosplaying scene, where some of the biggest on the planet go to show off their costumes. And since Kikihime wanted to get into cosplaying seriously and loved Japan, Comiket was a match made in heaven for her. But the trip there ended up being more like the 7th layer of hell. She took a plane from Austria to Japan, and when she landed, she let her fans know that she was at the airport, and if anyone was there, she'd love to meet them. As Kikihime got off the plane and was in the airport, 2 fans met up with her, took pictures, had nice conversations. It was overall a great time. But then, as they were leaving, she saw a third fan in the distance. And this time, it was a familiar face. The same person who had spammed her on all her social media accounts, who had sent her countless emails, and who wouldn't let her go even when she went to Austria. Someone she hoped she'd never have to see again. Her stalker. Immediately, without any second thought, she took her baggage with her and walked in the opposite direction of where he was coming from. She kept walking and walking, going up the escalator, down the escalator, one side of the airport to the other side of the airport. He kept following her and he wasn't even trying to hide it. At this point, she was getting desperate, and who wouldn't be? She needed to get on a train to leave the airport and go to where she wants to go. But she didn't want him to know which train she's taking so that he can follow her there too, potentially to where she's staying. Kikihime knew that this guy was not going to stop following her no matter what, so she went to the police station in the airport to hopefully scare him off. But even as she was speaking to two police officers at the front of the station, he still did not stop and was still heading towards her as she was speaking to the officers. But thankfully, since she speaks fluent Japanese, the officers understood what she meant immediately, and they separated both of them in two different rooms at the station. Now, at this point, she finally got a moment of peace. She was safe. And while she was hoping that she was going to feel safe even after leaving the station, she was about to face a very grim reality. We only know what happened from her point of view, of course, since the stalker hasn't really told us his side of the story. But the police essentially said, hey, listen, we understand this sucks, but our advice is that you just don't go to Komikit. And of course, she was shocked. She was like, wait, what? That's the solution for me to get screwed over? Can't you do anything? And the police said, no, he didn't actually commit a crime. And until he does, we can't do anything. This was Kikihime's first experience with the Japanese police, and it was disappointing to say the least. She wasn't going to let the stalker win. So she told the police, you know what? I'm gonna go to Komikit anyway. She left to go take her train while the stalker was still at the police station before he was released too. So thankfully she was able to take her train without him following her, but her concern was that he was going to show up at Komikit. A day passes and before you know it, she is at Komikit walking around the expo. She put on her costume, was getting her pictures taken by photographers, talking to fans, but of course a part of her was nervous over the fact that the stalker knew she was there. Then suddenly, two police officers she'd never met before came up to her. It turns out that the officers from the airport had sent these two people to check up on her. But the only description they gave them was that she was a foreigner, so they just walked around the whole expo and found her. She appreciated that. And you know what? It turned out that the stalker had not come to the expo. It seemed like he was spooked from the incident at the airport. This made her hopeful, thinking that, you know what, he probably got scared. Now that he saw the police in action, he would never dare to do this again. I wish that she was right, but of course, it was wrong. He wouldn't stop there. Around 2 years passed by since the airport incident, and this time we're in the Tokyo Game Show and Kikihime is cosplaying as usual. She would, as always, meet up with fans and photographers. At some point, one of these photographers was taking pictures of her, and as she was posing, she noticed, out of the corner of her eye, someone she never wanted to see again looking at her straight from the crowd. Her stalker. At this point, she was nervous, and why wouldn't she be? She still tried her best to pose for the picture though, and as the photographer was checking to see if the pictures turned out well, the stalker slowly walked towards her and kept getting closer and closer to her. She froze in place, not knowing what to do, and before she could even think, he lunged at her and went for the kiss. Thankfully, at that point, she reacted very quickly, dodged it, and kicked him. According to her, after the kick, he was very shocked. He had a look on his face that confirmed pretty much to 100% accuracy that he was fully expecting her to reciprocate. He genuinely thought in his own delusions that she was going to kiss him back. The kick left him so shocked that he ended up leaving her alone, thankfully, but she was still very marked. You know, at this point, when you see the same person over and over, when that person keeps sending you weird emails, even when you're in Austria, outside of Japan, when they're willing to wait for you at the airport, this starts to really play tricks on your mind. You know, you never trust anyone again. You never want to get out of your house. It's rough. A year passes by and we're now in 2020. The pandemic is in full swing. Kikihime had unfortunately moved to Japan during that year on a 1-year visa, hoping to do more cosplays and attend more events. But unfortunately, since it was the pandemic and lockdowns were in order, there were no cosplay events for a long time. She ended up going back to Austria without doing much. Until Summer Comiket 2024, the first event she can finally go to that is cosplay related. She was very excited because it's been a very long time since she even went to Japan to do this. She talked about it on Twitter, how she's about to go and is preparing for the very hot weather, and even teased the character she was going to cosplay. This was her in the event, and in this tweet she says, "Finish changing, I'll go die on rooftop now." Speaking of the rooftop at Comiket, this is one of the most iconic places to take pictures in cosplays. If you've watched any animes that relate to cosplaying, you have seen something similar to this. It gets crowded very quickly, and for Summer Comiket 2024, they had guidelines in place. They had designated many different zones separated by barriers that cosplayers could go into, take their pictures, and leave without blocking oncoming traffic. This is exactly what Kikihime would do. She would get on the rooftop in the morning before it got too crowded, took some pictures, and then went back down. At that point though, she was being contacted by many photographers and fans that she hadn't seen in a very long time, so the rooftop made the most sense to be on. So even though it was really hot, she made this tweet right here saying, "Little break, spent 2 hours on the roof, I go again maybe in 1 hour," letting everyone know that she'll be there. As you can see, this is her on the rooftop with a photographer taking pictures of her, and she has her little signature suitcase with a sign linking her socials. This is something that she's been doing for a long time. This is the queue of all the photographers, so as you can see, she is fairly popular. At this point, she was still not in the designated areas. She headed there next, and while she thought that the only concerns for the day are going to be her posing and the heat, she was dead wrong, as she ended up being extremely marked and confused, as well as the hundreds of people around her attending Comiket after witnessing what happened next. She went ahead and got into her designated area. As you can see, there's a barrier separating her from the rest of the crowd. A familiar man that had been haunting her for over 10 years showed up right behind her. She had just posed in this area. The photographer had just barely pulled out her mouth after he had groped her the way he
そう、僕はスライムですから。でもサナンはスライムじゃないですからね。そう、バーチャルだけど人間なので、僕初めてこんな形で配信できました。サナのおかげですよ。生きてくれました。ありがとうございます。かわいいです。嬉しいです。今日はなんでね、サナのコラボできたかっていうと、大人から僕見せてもらったんですけど、サナはね、可愛いイラストをプレゼントすることで宣伝をしてくれてるんですよね。宣伝しました。2期おめでとうということで、プニルもね、めちゃめちゃ宣伝うまいじゃん。僕最近上手になってきました。だからナトリもちょっとお手伝いさせてもらいました。とっても可愛い僕です。可愛く描いてくれてありがとうございます。直々に褒めてもらえることってあるんだ。僕の2がね、めちゃくちゃ可愛くスライムになってて、僕のお手可愛いです。色合いも完璧ですよ。嬉しい。ありがとう。にゃーい。それでそんなサナと今日はね、第23話の放送まで一緒に遊べるということになりました。僕とっても楽しみにしてたんですよ。嬉しい。今日は何をするんですか？今日は、ね、最近プニルゲーム実況頑張ってるじゃん。そうですよ。うさを晴らしたりそうしてるよね。もちろん僕いっぱい覚えましたやってるよね。だから今日はプニルと一緒にゲームをしたいなっていうのを思っていて、嬉しいです。やりましょう。やろう。どんなゲームですか？ボコボコですか？ボコボコではなく、今日はこんなゲームです。じゃじゃーん。みんなで空気読み2です。空気読み。よく知らないですけど楽し 読んだことある？空気を読む。空気はここにあるものなので、読むものじゃないですよ、その。またまたそんなこと言って、そんなところ見せてくれるんでしょ？もちろんですよ。空気って読めるものですよね。じゃあこのゲームで空気の読み方を学んでもらえたらな。学べますか？僕初めて空気読みます。空気読むって何ですか？楽しみです。じゃあやっていきますかね。はーい。これはこれでほうあ、いけましたよ。ありがとう。これでこうですね。今日はせっかくだから、はい、2人で空気読みをやりたいと思います。僕たち2人でやっていくってことですね。もちろんですよ。じゃあ2人で空気読みを選んでもらってもよろしいかな？こうしてこうです。さすがです。僕ね、ゲーム得意になってきましたから最近。僕がこっち赤いの？じゃあナトリが青いの。僕赤いのです。よし、赤いの持ってます。ここは自由に空気を読んでよい空間。2人が空気を読むことを止める人は誰もいません。2人だけで空気が読める夢の世界、心ゆくまでご堪能ください。ピンときてないね。空気を読める夢の世界、難しいこと言ってますね。赤いのと青いのを動かして赤いの空気を読んでいきます。はい。まあいい感じにやってみよう。わかりました。やってみたらわかりますね。第1問。どれですか？おお、いけてますね、これは。僕は赤いの。僕赤いの。でも座れるのはちょっと勘弁ですよ。じゃあナトリが言っちゃダメです。ダメ。どこまでも残ろう。そうですね。僕たちはちょっと食べられるわけにはいかないので。どうしました？もしかして空気読めてない？なんか気の抜けた音が。何ですか？生まれそう。何ですかこれ？でも親の前で生まれたい。人間。親の前で。どうしました？僕捕まってる。レッド参上。ブル参上。イエロー参上。僕は捕まってる。3人揃って3連じゃ。では行くぞ。何が合ってたのかわかりません。もしかして説明してるときはそういうことだ。待ってあげた方がいいんだ。お手を拝借。よー。出ましたか？許容範囲じゃない？いけましたよね。読めてます。何ですかこれは？バレーボールですよ。僕知ってますよ。これは順番にまだ回ってこないんだけど。僕です。できますよ僕。3番ですよ。できた。できました。ゲーム音がなくても成り立ってるって。もしかして視力検査。輪がかけてる方向。下。
Pisces, how you doing? Last but definitely not least, thank you so much for joining the channel. Welcome back and welcome to your reading. I hope all is well. Let's see what's going on with you. I need to check my mic. Yep, it's on. Okay. Sometimes I turn it off and I forget to turn it back on. So, all right, let's see what's going on with you. What is going on with Pisces placements? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. All right. Page of Wands, Knight of Coins in reverse, and the Nine of Cups in reverse. All right, so you are starting something new that you may be passionate about, but not the most experienced with. Not to say that you're completely clueless to what's going on, but you could have a beginner's wealth of knowledge, and that's fine. You shouldn't give up though. I mean, you know this, but sometimes we need like a reminder, a friendly reminder from somebody to let us know and reassure us that some stuff you'll have learning curves with, but once you get the full scope and understanding of something, you'll master it very quickly and be happy that you stayed from beginning to end. So you're being encouraged right now to not give up on something new. This could be a new industry when it comes to like work. You could be going from one industry that you are maybe a source that some stuff you'll have learning curves with, but once you get the full scope and understanding of something, you'll master it very quickly and be happy that you stayed from beginning to end. So you're being encouraged right now to not give up on something new. This could be a new industry when it comes to like work. You could be going from one industry that you are maybe a source of truth in to a totally different industry where you're not so knowledgeable, and that could really do something to your confidence and maybe your overall self-esteem. But you know, you weren't an expert with what you are expert in now. In the very beginning when you first started, you have to start somewhere. So keep it up. Things will turn around for you. And it could actually get easier for you around Sagittarius season, which is right around the corner. I was looking at this 9 and it made me think of like the ninth house, Sagittarius. So what, November? Things could get better for you.
あるので、私そういう時ってうまく書けないんですよ。本当に自分でも結構ね、何度か体験してきたんで、あ、これ。
You know, what can you tell me about this Page of Wands? Let's start there. What can you tell Pisces placements in regards to this Page of Wands energy? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. 4 of Coins, and now the Knight of Coins is upright, and Strength is in reverse. It's worth it. Something about a new start, a new job, a new beginning in some capacity is irritating as hell. It's irritating as hell to you. But the juice in this scenario is so worth the squeeze. It's worth you learning and understanding and grasping whatever process, procedures, and concepts that's needed for you to thrive in whatever this is. It won't be something that's successful overnight, but it will set you up pretty nicely in the future. So as bad as you may want to say F this, please do not do that. Please do not do that. What you don't see is the Chariot, at the bottom of the deck. So you'll find the determination and strong will to keep going. Something's going to stick out that reminds you, reassures you, and motivates you to continue moving forward. Okay. This could be like a new diet. This could be a new, you could have had, like, God forbid, but it is what it is. It's coming to my intuition, so it got to resonate with somebody. Like, you could have been diagnosed with something, medically speaking, and as a result of that diagnosis, you have to eat a particular diet, a strict diet, something like that, where it's required an adjustment, and all adjustments are not easy, but you'll get through it. Don't give up. This could involve an Aries, a Capricorn, or a Leo, or a Cancer. All right, let's see what else is going on. right. What else does Pisces placements need to know right now? The Sun in reverse, the Three of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Coins is upright, and what's these other three? The Four of Swords, the Page of Swords, and the Tower. This is a good tower. So this is some type of unexpected blessing coming from a foundation that you're comfortable with falling down. And you're being advised to keep this big old secret to yourself once it's revealed to you. Yeah. 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 The Sun in reverse is still a good card, even though it's upside down. Especially in this deck, this is the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. The Three of Swords is in reverse, so this is a resolution to a problem involving money. Money is definitely a factor, some type of financial support, whether it's coming from a particular source with a organization, a business, a foundation, or your family. You know, the Ten of Coins is pretty stable, and with the Page of Coins in reverse up under the Three of Swords in reverse, you're being advised to keep this to yourself and don't tell nobody, at least for the time being. And we got Scorpio here with the Tower, and it's right up under the Ten of Coins. So whatever this Tower moment is, surprising moment, whatever this is, it's catching you off guard, and it's resulting in money, stability, maybe a lump sum for some of you, but this is a good surprise. It's taking you out of the Three of Swords. It's taking you out of an irritating situation or a stagnant situation. This could be linked to some type of health condition, laid off period, disability with the Four of Swords here, or some type of delay. And you don't see it coming either. Okay. You just got to keep it to yourself for now. This could involve a Leo, a Libra, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Scorpio. Any way they can prepare for this Tower. I'm going to clarify the Tower, and I'm going to clarify the Ten of Coins and see what we can get out of it. And please remember, take it how it resonates and tarot responsibly, please. You know if it's something for you or you're reaching, you know, and you're not advised to reach for general readings. This either confirms this is something that's supposed to confirm what you already know, or your intuition or something like that. Clarify the Tower, Four of Cups in reverse, the Emperor, Three of Swords in reverse, and the Eight of Wands. So again, it's alluding to Sagittarius season. It's in regards to some type of leadership that you report to, or maybe you're a leader. Someone's missed opportunity will fall in your lap, resulting in a problem of yours being solved because someone took an opportunity for granted, and it's going to land in your lap instead. And this is happening sooner than later. We damn near in October now. Wands are like weeks for me, so this could be like 2 months from now, which would be like Sagittarius season. Yeah. Yeah, what? Yeah. 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 Okay. Maybe Scorpio season, but yeah, right around 2 months from now. Okay. So somebody is not doing the right thing in a row, and a missed opportunity for them is going to be beneficial to you, and this is what you don't see coming with the Tower. So like I said, it's further clarifying that it is a good thing for you, but it may be not so good for the person it's happening to, but that's on them. That ain't got shit to do with you. Okay, why is the 10 of coins here? High Priestess, something that you intuitively know already. And you gotta continue to be quiet about it.
Behold your applause.
Let's see. Tell me more about this 10 of coin, please, for Scorpio. I mean, not Scorpio, my apologies. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. It could involve another Pisces, a Virgo, or a Sagittarius, maybe a Cancer. But it looks like this is something that you're currently aware of or working on now. Tell me more. They want me to pull from the financial deck, Oracle deck. Okay. Face, money, skills, investor, taking a risk, face value, self-made, fame, exposure, and reputation. So yeah, something is definitely turning around in your favor and getting you attention. You're overcoming some type of obstacles. You could be starting your own business, taking charge in a situation that brings you a lot of fame or favor. It's telling you how you're going to make money, but at the same time, it's not. It's very vague and giving broad answers. Overflowing prosperity with cup, nurture, taking care of business. You need to finish what you start in regards to some type of lump sum of money or some big payout. Finish whatever it is that you're starting, because it's going to be lucrative. You can't just start something and put it on a back burner. See it all the way through from beginning to end is what I'm hearing. And bless you. I hope everything works out for you. Any additional financial messages for Pisces, since we're talking money? Additional financial messages for Pisces? What about my 9 to 5ers? Or anybody else? What's going on for Pisces? The Star in reverse, 10 of Swords, and the King of Coins in reverse. Something is ending and forcing you to go in a different direction that'll definitely bring longevity. You may be playing it safe by sticking to something that's comfortable, and that's cool, but it looks like regardless, something is coming to an end. So you need to plan ahead or be open-minded to like what's next. Why is the okay, I'm going to use tarot to clarify this. Why is the Star in reverse for Pisces? Why is the Star in reverse for Pisces? Finances. Oh, you meant to work for yourself. And some type of 9 to 5, some type of toxic ass boss. I know about those. Is holding you back or something like that. Someone that abuses their power is falling from grace. And it's gonna feel like they were betrayed or something, but they betrayed themselves. Like, what the hell? This is somebody that's really, really delusional with their narcissism and toxicity. Hell nah. How you gonna be toxic, slow, and delusional at the same damn time altogether? Why is the 10 of Swords here? Lord. Hierophant. Order is being established. Order is being reestablished in the workplace. And as somebody steps down, you step up. King of Coins in reverse, but this somebody going out sad. 9 of Coins in reverse. Are you being oppressed at work? Like, you could have something going on outside of your 9 to 5, right? And people that you work with, management in particular, could know this and jealous and want to hold you back with your 9 to 5 because they feel like you get enough success with whatever else you're doing, counting your pockets, clocking you. Like, what type of bullshit is this? Like, bitch, get a life. Get a fucking life. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy right here. Wow. Virgo, Taurus, Aries, Libra, Aquarius energy. This is some weird ass energy. What is Pisces advice when it comes to this deranged shit here? I can't stand people like this. Miserable ass people. Like, bitch, get a life. The 8 of Wands in reverse and Justice in reverse. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to make nice. You don't have to be friendly if you don't want to. Well, I take that back. If this is a work setting, be professional, be friendly, but you don't have to be over friendly and bust your ass to be accepted by whoever this is, because they've made up in their mind they have an issue with you and whoever else they want to have an issue with. And when they fall, they'll fall hard. Whoever this is, they're going to fall hard. Yep. When they fall, they will fall hard as hell. So it's already in the works. You ain't got to worry about shit. You really don't have to worry about anything. Just Sagittarius, Libra energy, Virgo energy here, Taurus, Aries, Aquarius, and Capricorn. Like, it's already set in motion. Everything is in motion. Plus, whoever this is, they got some type of health issue and all kind of shit going on in their mind, in their body. Spirit all fucked up, musty ass spirit, musty spirit, and personal issues. Why would they even have time for something like this with everything going on in their life? Misery loves company. That's crazy. Oracle messages, Oracle financial messages for Pisces. Whoever this is going through this, I'm sorry. Keep your head up. I've been there and done that. And it's never cute. It's never pleasant, but you'll get through it. You must work with a gang of bitter bitches. Butterfly, sudden change, frivolous spending, short-term loan, arts, movement, temp job, fun work. So you'll be transitioning to a better atmosphere, better, job, environment, all of that. At the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming is pendulum. Fluctuating income, indecision, new strategy, seasonal work, job change, and making choices. So definitely a change for the better, whether you decide to stay or leave. So it's good. That's good. Let's pull some cards from the Kipper deck. How does the person on Pisces' mind feel about them? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. And sorry for getting too attached to the energy in that spread. I just don't like people like that. I cannot stand bullies and people that throw rocks and hide their hands and play victim. I don't like that type of shit. I've seen it too much. I get sick of that. Unexpected income and thief and marriage at the bottom of the deck. Hell nah. So when you were, posed as the average bear, they didn't see a certain amount of value. So I've seen it too much. I get sick of that. Unexpected income and thief and marriage at the bottom of the deck. Hell nah. So when you were, posed as the average bear, they didn't see a certain amount of value. So the universe was hiding this person from you in plain sight. now that you've glowed up or you've shown another side of yourself that wasn't revealed during this person's time with you, they want to come in with the ulterior motive with thief and marry. Is how you after.
If you want to learn how to master using AI, don't watch.
Hey guys, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. In the case, we are going to get started. Turtle says money coming slowly, steady progress, moving for work, in good time. But the one you're aware of right now is this card. And it does feel like you guys are very within good time and long term. I do think that, I guess it's just slow and steady for me. Like there's not going to be any big windfalls. There's not going to be any big major shifts. There's not going to be any big major changes. That's your guys' current energy. So double confidence.
はい、戻ってきます。っていうか、今まで自分の声が配信で自分の声がまだどんな声なのよねってあんまり聞こえないな。聞こえたくないな。こうやってみようかな。こうやってみようかな。お、リーザRika, kapan itu ngechat ya? Hai Rika, semoga harimu menyenangkan. 信すればもっと早くになるよね。